Man, that goes on quick now anymore. We used to have to wait for it so long, I guess because it's on OBS. Hello, everyone. This is Reborn. We don't have Felipe here with us tonight. Did he say where he was at? Is he still sick?
No, his daughter's sick.
Yeah, so he's dealing with 2 sick kids, so you want to pray for him. So you know the only thing worse than sick kids? Sick husbands.
That's right.
Right?
That's like 3 kids in
It's
one.
like 3 kids in one. So we want to be praying for the two little ones. So let's start it out. How was your day today?
That's good.
Are you
Busy?
Yeah, busy.
Productive. I'm not done with laundry, but I started.
Okay.
Yep. Doing all the
And
stuff.
are
that
you
we
seeing
did.
Christmas? Because you're there at the pharmacy. Are you seeing a lot of crashing?
Yeah. So there's a lot of sickness. It started. It's just
Yeah.
usual.
I'm
It
just-
happens this time.
I'm just curious. Are there a lot of people during Christmas time that want Xanax or something like that so they can calm down?
Not any more so than usual. Anyway, if they're on it, they're on it.
I need some NyQuil. Just give me some NyQuil.
Yeah, there's a lot of everything. That's why we're crazy busy. Yeah. And then everybody getting ready for they need their Xanax and pain medicines early because they're leaving out of town, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Everybody goes out of town. I'm the only person that never goes out
No,
of
we
town.
don't go out of town. You go out of town?
No.
There's no out of town to
Everybody
go
in
to.
pharmacy, everybody that goes to the pharmacy, though, goes out of town, apparently. Everybody
just
that
leave you
walks
there?
in, no, our customers, everybody that walks in says, I need my medicine right now, because I'm leaving out of town. That's the excuse for everybody in line.
Hmm.
I'm like, well, you and everybody in line. They're all going together, maybe. I don't know.
So
off in-
does your pharmacy, do you like, they can pay for their drugs and pay for their stuff that they get at the store at the same time there?
No,
Okay.
they can't. As long as they don't have a big
What's the
basket
weirdest thing
full.
you've seen someone get for a present? I'm getting this for my...
Oh, God. I'm not sure that I've seen anything really weird there. Not in the pharmacy, probably. I don't know.
Did you see that? Did you guys look at that blog that I sent out with those Christmas gifts?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see the nose hair trimmer?
Yes, I saw that.
Now, I want
What?
that.
A nose
It was a nose hair trimmer, but it
Weird.
would look like a finger. So you stick this.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It was
Oh, I didn't
hilarious.
see
I thought
that.
that was weird. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Well, you know, weird is okay.
Well,
But
but it's functional.
yeah,
I mean,
hopefully.
if it's-
But you know what? If you get it stuck in your hair, you just let it go there, and it looks like you got a finger hanging out of your
Ew.
nose. So it's
That's
something
gross.
completely. So how was your day or your week?
Good. It was also very busy today. I had a lot of school that I'm trying to catch up on before we get into January, and so I'm working on that right now. And I had to go shopping.
I had to
you
go
had,
shopping.
Yeah, I was about to say, I had to go shopping.
I had to go shopping.
You know what that cures me from? I need to go over to Academy and I need to get something. And then we start getting close and it's traffic. And I go, you know what? I'll just get it online. I'm not gonna-
We were just at Academy, as a matter of fact, before we came here, because I was like, Vincent's like, let's stop in Academy. I'm like, oh, fine. I don't particularly care to, but yeah, that area there, crazy. I think between now and the beginning of the year, it'll probably be like that. They're like, traffic is just,
Oh.
and then the traffic inside the stores too. They're really busy.
Yeah. You know, I learned this. Actually, it's something I learned from software, doing software. But you know, it is actually faster to have one line. People just get in the line and then have a bunch of cash registers to open, so that you just get to the next person, versus having everybody getting their own
The
cash
different lines.
cash register line. Now, the fastest of all, self checkout. To do that one. But I over here at Academy, I walk in, I look at how far back the line is, and then I turn around and go back and get my car. So
That'll determine whether you need something. We went into Ross too. I said, let's go look around in Ross real quick. And as I'm looking at something, and I was like, I look over and I said, is this the line? She goes, yes, ma'am. I was in the back of the store. This is where the line was. I was like, because I just felt somebody standing here. That's why I was like, and I looked, and she's just standing with her cart. And I asked him, like, oh my gosh, the line is all the way back there. I didn't need anything that bad.
yeah.
No, I'm like, okay. I didn't need anything at all, really. I was just kind of just taking, wasting time.
I can't remember where we were at, and I saw the line. I go, let's just go. We're not. This ain't gonna work. So
Is it? You have to look at what you're buying. I'm like, is it worth it?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
probably not.
See, that's my same way with restaurants. If they say it's more than a 30-minute wait, there's not a food on the planet that I'll wait more than 30 minutes to eat. So I was like, I'm leaving. Let's just go. Unless I got some, a bunch of people there to talk to and stuff like that. But we'll wait. Or if we know we got a big party, if we got like 10 or 15 people, okay, well,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to
it's
wait
just
on that. But
usual.
they go, it's 30 minutes. I go, nope, not gonna wait 30 minutes. Oh, that's what it was. Chick-fil-A. We were over here in that Chick-fil-A
The
line.
new one?
The new one just opened up.
Just opened up.
And I looked at that line. I told Laura, that food ain't that good to wait in a line that long. I mean, those better be gold nuggets.
Hey, but I can say about Chick-fil-A, they can have a line wrapped around there, but it goes quick. They are fast.
Oh.
They are. They really are. It does look like a lot. And I have said the same thing. But Vincent was like, can you please stop? And I'm coming home from work. I'm tired. I don't want to wait in lines.
Oh, man.
But I was like, oh, fine. But it was in and out. And it has been that way. I can say that about them. And they're always very nice.
Oh, sure, they're nice.
They're friendly.
I'm nice, too, though. No, thank you. I say thank you.
Oh, okay.
No. Hey, we got a topic tonight. It's a topic probably everybody's had or been familiar with at one time or others. Because is there any purpose in our pain? I believe that's what we had on the agenda for
that was
tonight.
a question.
Yeah, is there purpose in our pain? Can you think of any Bible folks that were dealing with pain?
Plenty. Some people will say, like, everybody in the Bible, there's always pain and bad. Everything's bad and killing, right? That's what some people say.
Yeah.
They look at all those type of things like, why?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. You see, like Job, there's pain.
Job, for sure.
And Job never knew the purpose of what he was going through, but man, thank God that Job went through that, or we wouldn't know, right? What we're going through.
Man, I've thought about Job. The first one that comes to mind all the time, right? But it just seems so extreme. Why would I just feel like, man, he was somebody that I don't know that I could be. I mean, I would question so much. It's like I feel like I have faith. I have strong faith in who my God is. But golly, when you're going through those things, I mean.
And you got friends like that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't.
That's tough.
You don't have anybody on your side that's kind of cheering you on and helping you. You just.
Yeah, and your wife goes, curse God and die.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and so everybody wants to always know the answer to, why am I going through this? And it's like,
I need to know. I need to know the answer.
Yeah, I remember hearing one of the professors I was listening to. He said, people say, well, why am I dealing with all this suffering and pain? And they said, it floored him. He goes, why not you? Right? Why not you? And it just, you're not used to that. It's like, I don't want this to hurt. Well, why not?
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens.
Like,
but
is it okay for someone else then? But yeah, why not me? Why not you?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yep.
What all the things that I have done to hurt my God, why I am saved, why he had to die because of me. Mm-hmm. But yet I don't want to go through anything and I don't want to feel any of that pain. It's not even close to what Jesus did for us, right? But yet we want to say, or I want to say, yeah, why is this happening to me? And and I always want to know answers. I'm that type of person. Like, I ask a lot of questions and I want to know the answers. Like, I know people that don't ask any questions. And I was like, how do you not ask that? That's like an obvious question to ask. Mm-hmm. I want to know all the questions and I need to know all the answers. I need it all filled in. Yeah. And so many times that's not how it happens.
When it comes to dealing with pain or loss, and people say, well, if God's such a loving God, why is there so much suffering and pain and all this stuff in the world? And they want to blame God for that. When you go, wait a second, I believe it's man that brought pain and suffering into the world. Mm. If you go back to the Garden of Eden before the fall, if you looked in the Webster's dictionary before the fall, there was no pain. Pain wasn't in the dictionary.
That was non-existent, right?
Yeah. And hurt and sorrow and misery, thorns. I wonder if mosquitoes would be in there. don't know.
If they were, they
I
might
think
have been nice.
no, they were not there. They were not there before.
Yeah, it's
that
like-
came after the fall. I'm
That
sure.
came after the fall. I
Or
wonder
maybe
what-
they were nice. Maybe they're the
They
mosquitoes
were nice?
that. No, maybe they're the mosquitoes that took your fat instead of your.
That's how they were beneficial then. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
forget it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
Okay.
I've always said that, right? You know, you think when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask God this. You know, I'm going to ask God that. That is one of the dumb things I said I'd ask. I'm like, why did you make mosquitoes? What are they for?
Yeah.
Just, hey, that, oh, I just thought of that. That's to torment me because mosquitoes, I attract mosquitoes. I can be around 5 people. They are all on me. I have no idea why, but maybe that's why. God did that for me so I can remember all the times that I've messed up. But like, that's just my own punishment there.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll be like. And yeah, it's like, Noah, why did you put him on the ark? See, my question is, why'd you put a snake on the ark? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just get them out.
They're cool looking.
On pictures and pictures, yeah.
No, have you? Well, you've touched one, right?
I've carried them around
Yeah, they're really.
to the trash to throw them in it when I'm done murdering them.
Yeah, we went to that snake zoo, and man, it's just
Is that
so
the one down in
amazing.
San Antonio?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one in
yeah.
San Marcos, going that way.
Yeah.
It is. They are amazing creatures. I mean, all the creatures that God created, and that's what I think about too. I'm like, God created that creature to look just like that. I mean, I don't know.
But the serpent didn't used to look like that until the fall.
Right?
I wonder
Well,
what he looked like.
what did he look like
that.
before then?
They probably didn't look so ugly.
I don't think they look ugly though. I don't think they're ugly.
Okay, I'm not
They
talking to
are.
her anymore.
See, it's a matter of
They
opinion,
are.
but
They are nasty and
Let's-
scary.
Let's get back to
No,
our pain question. Is,
Oh.
I think one of the things that when they don't, these are answers that people don't like to question to, like the why not you? It deals with pains, or why not? Well, because I don't want it. Well, God decided you were going to get it, right? Or especially when they you commit a sin. It's like if you eat a bunch of candy and then you get mad at God because you got a cavity, right?
yeah, why am I dealing with this cavity now?
Yeah.
This hole in my tooth.
God
that
doesn't love
hurts
me.
and-
You
yeah.
know, so God didn't make you eat that food.
Yeah.
Right? That's sweets. I'm saying that after eat about 6 handfuls of hot tamales. Cinnamon ones, hot cinnamon ones. But I think the other thing that we need to be very aware of is that while technically there are answers, and they're valid answers, technically, it doesn't make you feel better.
Right. That's not the answer we want to hear.
Yeah. I mean, it's like say, well, Job went through that so we would understand that not all suffering has to do with us being bad. If we ever considered, and you have to be very unselfish to be able to think this, is that Job went through all that he went through, but what came of that was an interesting verse in chapter 42, and that was God got onto the 3 friends. You didn't say what was right about me. Now you go back and Job's going to pray for you and offer your sacrifice. So could it be, besides being for us, could it have been that whole thing, God's purpose, and we know one of his purposes in that was to get those 3 friends to think differently about God, because it definitely happened. You imagine getting that all, saying all this stuff. I mean, the dialogue that they had there, and God goes, no, that ain't right. What you were saying is not right. Now you have Job pray for you and make a sacrifice for you. And now Job is still in his yuck, right? He's not healed yet. It's after he does this that he gets healed. And then maybe he did that for Job's wife. Right? Boy, you got to see it right away, right? Right at the beginning of this, why don't you just curse God and die? Just get over it. And he says, should we get good things from God and okay, and when bad things happen, then we just dismiss God on everything? That's what the world does, but that's not what we're supposed to do, right? And of course, then she got something at the end of it too, right?
What?
10 more kids.
Oh. I was like, Well, okay.
So God has a sense of humor about the whole thing too, doesn't he? Said the one guy sitting between two women. But I think the other part of the pain that we don't think about is the mental pain, the mental thing that people go through. Once Noah got off the ark, and this is just a thought. Okay, don't grab this and create a theology out of it. But why after all that he had done did he go and get drunk? You ever think of that?
Yeah, I always thought that was so weird. It's like, oh, he was walking with God so much. He was the only person who God had told build the ark.
Yeah.
And then the second he gets out, he like turns away. It's
shortly after. But you're right. Yeah, isn't it something?
Yeah.
Like, there are only two people, two people before the flood that they said walked with God. Enoch and Noah. They walked with God, and it's like, okay.
You even walked with God. You were there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know this, but this is another conjecture on my part. We can ask Noah when we get there, okay? Was the thought of, because remember, right outside the ark, he's hearing screaming, clawing, people that he knew that were dying. And he could do nothing at that point to help them. That would weigh on you just a little bit, don't you think? Even though you knew it's righteous. Hey, even you see people getting what they really deserve, and you kind of still go, man, that's still tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That could be something. David, I just finished reading the Psalms, and oh my gosh, so many of the Psalms that you read that David writes, and others too, man, they are just beat up, Remember Elijah? He was so distressed that he just said, God, if you just kill me, just let me die. Mm-hmm. Moses said the same thing. And those weren't casual words. We read those and don't think. They were so distressed, they wanted to die. They just wanted to die. Mm-hmm. And yet we see the outcome of, what's going on in a person's life is painful now. But that pain some pain is going to last till you're dead. But some pain, it will eventually go away, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be here for a time, then it goes away. But imagine the pain of David watching his sons, 3 of his sons, 4 of his sons just die as a result mm-hmm. of his own sins. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, that's right? What I was going to say. I think, I understand what you're saying about Noah. Why did he do that? I mean, of course, we don't know exactly why. We don't know why, but I do see it as a picture of exactly what happens now, what we do now. We say we're Christian, and yes, I have faith, and yes, I do this, and I've walked, and I've seen God, and I've seen Him work, but yet some tragedy happens or whatever, and then all of a sudden now I have forgotten that God is in control. I have forgotten mm-hmm. that He has taken care of me, forgotten that He is the judge. He's going to take care of the situation, and now I think my whole life and everything's messed up, whatever the situation might be. But then we forget mm-hmm. and we go get drunk, or we go do something, or curse God in words or whatever in our actions. Yeah. Because we're like, hey, you just said you had been living like this, and then all of a sudden it changed. That's what we do now all the time, right? We mm-hmm. I'm like, I've seen her. She has faith, and she went to church all the time. Whatever. You saw them as a Christian person walking a certain way. Right. And then they fall, and you're like, how did that happen? Why would they have fallen? Why mm-hmm. would they have done that?
Mm-hmm. Our whole life is about growing into the next thing. You do the next thing, and while you're doing the next thing, you're growing into the next thing. Mm-hmm. Our whole life's about that, right?
Sure.
Kindergarten. There's a book. Someone wrote a book. Everything I learned in kindergarten, which would be shame, but because I didn't.
I finger painted.
I don't even remember that. But grade school into junior high,
right?
And you learn.
It's a process of
junior high into
mm-hmm.
high school into college, college into a job a job and getting promotions or not getting promotions, maybe getting fired from jobs, falling in love, having your heart broke, falling in love, having your heart broken. How do you mend a broken heart? Those of you guys that may be on that know the answer to that. That's a Bee Gees song. How do you mend a broken heart? Anyway, never mind.
No.
And then you
I'm not
find
that
the one
old.
you're truly in love with, and then you move on from there. But then once you get married, you're married for a while, and all of a sudden, here come some kids, right? And then you have to. So it's always a growing, and I think the problem that it's always growing, but there's always pain in those things, right? There's pain as you go through that pain. Going from grade school to high school, you were the big cheese in grade school. Now you go in there and you're at the bottom of the totem pole again, in junior high, and then you just get back up again, and then you got to go back to the bottom as a freshman or a sophomore and move back up again. So you're always in this growing mode, and I think the thing that too many don't learn is that there's you retire, but you haven't stopped growing to do and then growing to do, because you're going to do that hopefully till you're dead, right? To have to sit through that. Romans 8:28.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Romans 8:28 says, "For all things work together for good." When people massively misquote that, right? All
As they
things work
stop.
together,
Yeah.
right? All things work together for good. Well, the Bible says all things work together. It's like people saying, God won't give you more than you can handle. That's not what that verse says. It's the same thing with this one. All things work together for good. That's not what that verse says. It says, all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. David's baby dying is not a good thing.
Right.
But can good come from that? That's what it means. Can there be Job going through? I have beat my brain trying to figure out how long did Job have to go through that. I haven't been able to find any clues in there. But
Yeah.
in that he's going through it, he goes, was that good? No. Did it work together for good? Job doesn't even know how much good he's done to other people, right?
Yeah,
And-
that's the blast zone that we always talk about.
Exactly.
We never know what, even in our pain, our pain, our suffering. What does my pain look like to others around? What is my suffering?
Yeah.
What should it be looking like to others around?
The question is, if I'm claiming to be a Christian, if I'm making that claim, and people are going to watch me when there's a problem and see,
yeah, man, there's
did I pass for them? That might be the difference between them getting saved or not. So that's that works together for good.
That's
My pain works
definitely
together
when
for
someone's
good.
looking at you for sure, right? With
Yeah.
the big eyes, like, oh, they said they're Christian. Let's see what they're going to do with this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's always under the
That's
microscope.
always
Always
for
under the
sure.
microscope. Yep.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that even in pain and hardship, there's a purpose for it. And like you said, how you graduate. It's always a maturing thing, right? We should be maturing and gathering more wisdom as we get older. So how do you do that? Well, by experiencing the things of good and bad. You can't. I guess how could you live a life and think that it's going to be all great and good, and how do you learn from that?
What happens to the folks that never, because maybe I don't know what they call them, helicopter parents, or
They don't allow the
they-
kids to.
they never fail.
Yeah.
They always they got a whole wall full of participation trophies.
They run under them so they don't fall on the ground.
They've never
Cushion their fall.
experienced what it means to fail.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, they don't ever, failure then becomes a disaster.
Right. They cannot cope. I come across those kids. I say kids. It's not just kids. Older people that do not have any coping skills, have no conflict abilities to resolve conflict. They're just like, their whole world crashes down on them. They have no idea how to handle any of that.
Right. I think one of the things that as parents we need to do is be able to provide our kids with controlled failure. That's what God does for us, right?
Mhm.
It's always under His control, even when we fail
Mm-hmm.
in that. So, one of the things that I've learned over the years, and I'll be continuing to learn this, is that there's certain pains that you get that just ain't gonna go away anymore, and you can either just crawl up in a recliner and wait for death, or you can get up and fight back a little bit on those things.
Or
you know?
you say, well, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Now let's move on.
Yeah.
What
What about the folks that have had trauma in their life? You know, traumatic childhood experiences. What about those? Now we're not counselors here, so don't be. Well, I learned everything from Reborn. I'd go buy a book as well, but we're just thinking this out loud, okay?
Yeah.
So you know they go through a traumatic experience, and I know people that have gone through traumatic childhood experiences, and they came out and they're strong.
Mhm.
They're strong, and there's others that come out and they are just a walking train wreck. All you know, there's nothing. They can't handle anything, and so, and I don't even know sometimes if you can even help. You know, going in and let's all talk about the bad things that's happened to us, and you know, it's
Let's have a cry fest.
Yeah, it's a big old cry fest. But you know, they do those where let's sit down and talk about these
Yeah,
things
so-
and find out, you know what, you can get through those things.
I think that's helpful for some people, but then there are other people that maybe have had those traumatic experiences and don't want to talk about anything. They don't
Yeah.
want to
yeah.
bring it
Yeah.
up. But like, I'm done. I've moved on. That happened then, and then you'll have some people think, well, wouldn't it do you good to talk about that, to let it all out? And like, not everybody's like that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? So you either internalize it and say it happened to move on, and then they live their life now. And then there's others that maybe talk about it every day of their life and never get over it.
Right.
You know, they're just
Right.
talking about it forever.
Yep.
So at some point, I feel like
I've,
you need to.
Talking to World War II vets, I was always told, and it's been pretty true. If they fought in Germany, they'll talk to you about it. If they fought in the Pacific, you ain't going to hear much out of them because it was so much more traumatic over there, and they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to remember it. So I can see that. Where it's
Sure,
like, you know what,
yeah.
I'm just, and there's nothing wrong with that. Going, listen, that's in the past. Let's keep it in the
I
past.
don't want to keep thinking
And
about
I
it and bringing it up,
right.
right? It's kind of like watching a scary movie. I'm not going to watch, not even the previews, because that gets in my head. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to close my eyes and see that picture. Or
Every time I see it, I'm like, I can't be alone, y'all. I have
Yeah.
to be with somebody. I'm like,
I don't
no.
I don't watch scary movies. I don't do any of those things because I don't want that in my head. So for people that have had those traumatic things and witnessed it, was there and I can't imagine. That is in your head now. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get that out probably every time they close their eyes. So probably not talking about it. I'm like, I don't want to bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that again. I don't want to hear that again.
There's some old, like I didn't care what scary movie it was. We just sit there and just watch it. I don't care. We watch it. But now it's like I don't want to watch anything that's satanic. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want it because my mind, because I know better now, going, I don't want to bring that into the house. I don't know what may stay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what happened to the kids. We brought them in the house, couldn't get them out for a long
they're
time.
there forever.
For 18 years, couldn't get them out of there. No, but so it made so I don't want to do that. And then watching somebody just get beat up, in some of the, rough movies like that, I don't want to see that. The only kind I really like is like the Roadhouse, where the bad guy gets beat up. I like that one. Okay, but it just most of the old Clint Eastwood movies, he gets beat up, he gets back out, and then he starts getting, he's bad, right? He's bad. Make my day bad. But I don't know how we get off on that. But anyway, you just things you don't want to look back on.
You don't want to look back.
You don't want to look back.
Yeah,
on
you don't
those
want to
things.
talk about it. You don't want to look back on it.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's necessarily bad, but
Yeah.
But I feel like any experience, even those that maybe that don't want to talk about it, I think it was for a reason, and that I feel like even them whether you talk about it, I guess, in detail or not, but I feel like they have such insight to be able to help someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all, even in a bad situation, you learn something. Something
Yeah.
is being learned if you choose to accept
Yeah.
that. You know, there's some people who can be like, I didn't learn nothing and my life is horrible,
Yeah.
and will just curl up in a
Yeah.
ball and
And it's
their
probably
whole life.
why did God do this to me? Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and those are the people that probably would say those type of
Yeah.
things.
And
But
and there's another one of those $64,000 questions that can't be answered is, well, why did I read here in the scripture, I read here in the newspaper that something bad was getting ready to happen to somebody and they were miraculously saved. How come he didn't do that for me?
mm-hmm.
Right? And that's going through that. I don't know. I don't
Just
know
like you-
why that's happened.
Yeah.
We don't think about, again, I don't want to say Bible characters because make it sound cartoonish, but our Bible saints that we read about, we don't think. Have you ever think about the woman at the well? Remember, Jesus says, "Call your husband."
See
That was, didn't you? I could when in my mind, which is a crazy place to be, when he says, "Go call your husband," she must have looked at him like, "Oh gosh, here we go. Oh my gosh, he's going to find out." Little did she know, he already knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "I don't have a husband." He goes, "You're right, you don't. You've had 5 husbands, and the one you're with now is not your husband." And we go, "My gosh, that's so terrible." But do we ever stop to think what got her to that place, right? What was it? There's something that happened in her experience. Was she just, is she the one that can relate maybe along these lines of she wanted love and she was willing to go to extremes to get it, and because some people do that, right? Many people do that. How far will we go in an abusive relationship because we feel at least someplace in there's love. Get a little bit of love, and then I get some bad stuff, and it goes back and forth. And so but again, we don't think of them. Mary Magdalene, she was a prostitute. What took her to that place? But they don't. Those are painful places, and I'm thankful that while we have psychiatry and we have analysts and counselors that can go, well, a woman like that woman at the well, she would have done it because of this and possibly that, and go through kind of the stuff I ran through. And then, she became a prostitute maybe because of this or that, and give us some background to the mental thinking. But what I love about this is, in the scripture, is that, if you'll hold on to God, God will let you let go of the other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. That it's there, but it isn't going to keep me down anymore.
Right. It's not going to keep you down because it never leaves. It's always there. It happened and it's there. It's not going to go away.
Yeah.
But it'll allow you to move forward. He'll allow you to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you let go of that and hold on to him because he's the one in control of all. But yeah, it's...
Now yours,
I forgot what I was going to say.
Your verses have in James chapter 1 and verse
James
2.
1 verse 2 says, "My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing."
Yeah, that word for perfect doesn't mean perfect. I mean, the only one that's perfect
Perfect
is
doesn't mean
our
perfect.
wives.
Yeah.
But you don't have one of those. I got one of those, but no. The only perfect, as in perfection without any fault, it's not what it's referring to. It's talking about maturity level, that we grow mature in maturity. So when we fall into diverse means various temptations, and temptations are normally pointed towards our own lusts, right? A trial is something God brings on. A temptation is something that we bring on by our own desires. So he says, when you fall into those, don't just, oh my gosh, and fall into it. It's, let's learn, be patient. It creates endurance, being able to say no to those things and be able to back away from this, because you'll have an end to that. So some of the pain that we deal with, we deal with because of ourselves, right?
Yeah, we chose it.
Young lady or young man gets involved with the opposite sex, and they're not the people they should have around them, and then they hurt them, and they go, well, why'd you do that? He says, well, what did God's word tell you about it? Oh, but I didn't want to do that.
They're like, well, I didn't pick them. God didn't send them to you. You chose them.
Right.
You chose to be there.
I tell that to folks that they'll tell me about their job that they got. Oh, it's going to be a great job. And then they get the job and they go, well, I don't think God wants me to have that job. So what happened? You thought God gave you the job. Now, why did you not get rid of it? And he says, well, I got a bad boss. He goes, well, you think God gave you that boss, or did you give you that boss?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they don't think about, maybe God didn't want you to have it because he didn't want you around that boss.
It's not me.
Yeah,
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. Yeah. How much of our lives could maybe be fixed and not deal with so much pain if we can go, maybe I'm the one that caused this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's somebody, let's take the woman at the well. He goes, why'd you break up the first husband? Well, he used this way. In the culture, I know you don't text and go, or don't chat and go, hey, that's not the way the culture works. I know. I'm just playing this scenario through. And Jesus goes, well, then what happened to the second guy? Well, he was this way. And, well, okay. What about the third guy? Well, he was, what about the fourth guy? What about the fifth guy? And she goes, what's wrong with them? He goes, the common denominator is you, right? Not them. Mm-hmm. And so that sometimes you're around bad people. How come I always pick bad people? Where are you always at? I'm always around bad people. So, well, get away from the bad people, right?
When you're interviewing people for a job, and through conversation, you hear that, my boss, I didn't get along with my boss, or this happened, or and then the guy I worked for and my supervisor, and there's always those things. I'm like, okay, well, at all 5 of your jobs, it was always your supervisor or your boss or your district manager or somebody just hated you. I mean, golly, that's some bad luck, isn't it? Or I say, okay, next we'll call you, because I'll call you later.
Interview is over.
Yeah, I'm like, really? I mean, because if you can never identify at some point, maybe not the first, maybe not even the second time, and be like, you know what? You have to look this way and be like, okay, is there something I'm saying, am I doing, or am I looking cross-eyed at somebody when I talk to them, or what in the world? Something's wrong.
That's one of the teaching things they say. If the students keep asking the same question, you're not answering the question. Mm-hmm. So you got to go back and go, okay, let's try it from a different perspective. Right?
And what happens sometimes, or many times, they'll be like, well, they're not answering the question, but I'm like, well, then why do they keep asking the same thing? At some point, you should be able to look into yourself and be like, okay, why is this happening?
Yeah, I think there's two aspects of this. It's just and I'll use some believer, but the believer's not walking with God. So the believer's mostly connecting with other people that aren't saved, and then they keep wondering, well, how come I keep getting arrested? How come I keep getting this? And you go, well, who are the people you're hanging around? Once again, you're the common denominator, right? It's like, maybe you can fix this problem. I know a family member of family members, but that they're okay when they're kind of like chameleons. They're not, and I don't mean it normally a bad sort of way that you say they're just a chameleon. They just whoever you want them to be at the time. It's not that way. They if they're around good people, then they'll act good and they'll be good. But you get them around bad people, and they'll do what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And they become drug addicts. I mean, bad drug addicts. And it's like, well, why? He says, well, who are you hanging around with? Mm-hmm. And that.
What's that saying? Yeah, you show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. Yeah, that's so true.
It is.
When we were younger, if you've ever heard those type of things, to make sure you hang around the right crowd. I was told that all the time, and when you're young, you're like, whatever, right crowd. I mean, my friends are good. They're fine. Now looking back, not all of them were, but I mean, I did have a couple sprinkled in there, but but in general, I'm like, wow, and if you looked at those friends that were questionable, I was not like them. I mean, some people probably would look at me and be like, she's not that. Like, I was different.
Mm-hmm.
But not because I'm just better. I wasn't better than them. It was just because I was different. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I have been hanging around that crowd? Why? We had not very little in common, but yet I still was there. I don't know. Why do we do dumb things like that? Yeah.
You see, I got lucky. I'll get lucky. I want to be friends with certain people and then I find out that I want to be friends with certain people, but I can't ever get close to them, and then I find out that they're bad. So I'll get lucky in the case scenario where I can't click with the person for nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. I mean, we
Yeah.
we should be able to discern, right, who the good and
Yeah.
bad. I mean,
Yeah.
if they're saying, hey, you want to come hang out with me, and you see a gun in their pocket, we're like,
Hey,
probably not a
here,
good
I
idea.
need you to drive the car.
Yeah, drive
Whoa,
really. When I
what are we
say
doing?
go, drive fast. You're like, what? Okay. I was always the designated driver. I
Yeah.
didn't do that, but I was designated
Yeah.
because of them.
When they say a friend you can call and bail you out of jail, your best friend is the one that's in jail with you.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's
That's not good.
That's right.
But I think regardless if it's the pain, the affliction is coming because we've done it or because God is doing it, the outcome can still be the same. We can still learn from it. It can still grow from it. I mean, what David did with Bathsheba was wrong. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Adriana, write it down. It's not right. It's not right. She agrees with me, by the way,
Yeah.
150%. But what did we gain from that? Lots of mothers and dads, mommies and daddies, were comforted by hearing David say, "He can't come back to me, but I'll go to him." Right when his baby died, to be able to hear that, is it good? No, it's not good. David was a jerk. Adriana, I said it. He's a jerk. Okay, and there's nothing he can't get around it. And his baby died, but he told us something that is incredible. It's like, that little baby's in heaven, because we know where David went, right? There's no doubt that David went to heaven, but to be with the Lord. But that means a baby was there too. I can go to him. He can't come to me. That's
now
a great.
I have that assurance.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
So can we find peace in the pain? Sometimes I've talked to this with people that have their family members pass on. Normally it's a mom or dad that's passed on in old age and stuff, and they I hear some of the kids say, "I don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't know what I'm going to do now."
I've heard that statement.
And
many
what
times.
I've told some of them, I go, you've told me a whole lot of great things about what your mom did. And they go, "Oh man," and they tell me more things, and I go, "Well, you know what you're supposed to do now? You're supposed to pick up the mantle and pick up where she left off. Pick up where your dad left off. They showed you something. Now go do it. Go do be that kind of person."
Let
And-
someone else say those things about you one
yeah,
day.
exactly,
I mean-
exactly. And family members, I always tell them, I go, there's always, now I can actually see it too, because when I say it and they start looking around, I know I hit a nerve. But I go, there's always issues between families. They got issues here, issues there. Someone doesn't
And they
like,
all go,
yeah, and then someone looks over at Kaya and goes, "Oh yeah, we know who he's talking about." And you go, you know what? This is not the time to continue that. This is the time to see life is short. So there's, and I think for the believer that really gets it, that really, I'm going to heaven. I know where I'm going to be, and I know I'm going to see him someday. Even talking about death doesn't seem right, because it's like I'm separated from my body for a while, but when I get my new body, it's going to be better than this one. Number one, and number two is my whole goal is to get to heaven.
right.
Right? And to be with the Lord, not just to get to heaven, but to be with the Lord. With that, so can I experience that? My family member died, but man alive, you know what? They're not in pain anymore. So see, even that you can go ahead and see. There's good from that. They're not suffering, and I can
Yeah.
wait a few days or a few years until I get to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah, man, that's the piece that I have. Lost a mom and
Yep.
many other family members. If I know that they were saved, I have no doubt that I'm going to see
yeah,
them again. And the pain. I miss her. I think of her, but I don't miss her and like. I think like someone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm never gonna see him again.
yeah, and
Oh,
like,
yes,
what am
I
I
am.
going to do with the rest of my life? I'm like, it's never been a thought like that. I'm just like, she's with our God now, and I'm going to be there to meet her one day.
Mhm.
I'm going to see her
Yeah.
again, so it's not like I'll never see you again.
Yeah, we're like what Paul said. He says we're not like others that have no hope.
All right.
Like you're dead and that's it. Right?
That is the worst. That is the worst when I talk to people. Like, you speak as if there's no hope. Why?
Yeah.
And you try to explain to them, like, that is the worst. That has to be the worst feeling in the world, that there is no hope, that this is everything here. Like, you're living your best life here, and this is all
Yeah.
you have. And you're saying this part sucks, that part sucks, and this, and this is all I got. And I'm like, golly, what a horrible life to go to bed every night to feel that.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that feeling. I don't understand that, but I know so many people do.
Mhm.
And it's very sad.
Yep.
Very sad to have no hope.
Yeah. You still feel the pain of the loss, but
Of course.
it's not permanent. It's like this is just temporary.
Yeah,
and-
that's it. It's not permanent for sure.
I understand. I mean, I think the ones that really live that as a reality still feel the pain of I say temporary loss, knowing we're going to be together. We're going to be together again. So, so that's the hope. Is there purpose in the pain? Yeah, there's always purpose in the pain.
Always.
Nothing that happens in our life, there's not a purpose behind it in some way, shape, or form. To train us, to get us ready, to let us see it for ourselves that we're in, that we got it or we don't got it, one way or the other. So
Yeah, to learn patience.
anyway, it looks like we're 47 minutes in. So I guess we need to start winding it down.
Okay.
So anyway, want to thank you guys for being here with us. It's freezing, bitter, cold out. Was it
Oh my
65 degrees or
gosh.
70 degrees out there? It's like freezing cold out there.
It was a
Anyway,
beautiful day.
I don't know if are we going next Friday?
No.
Okay, so we'll be off next Friday. But we want to thank you guys and we want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you have a good time. I hope that there's no pain that comes from your family being with you in your house or you're at their house. And we'll don't forget our services on Sunday morning for us for Tabernacle Baptist Church. We'll be having our play. I think they're doing a
Christmas
Christmas
play.
program for that, and then we'll have an evening service. We're going to talk about 2026, and on Wednesday we will be having our service online. So you'll see a text coming out online for that if you're on our app at all. So with that being said, what do we say? There were
4 in.
4 in and 1 out. That 1 out is you. We hope to see you again soon. God bless you.